Vega, we got company. Nice, you made a point of interest, but just call it point of interest. Oh look. Oh. I see. 2 weapons. Alright. Let's go with a trusty pistol, I'd say. You have strange car. Oh, it opens. Someone lost Cacodemon. I see. Come on, meatball. We have here some help. Whoa. It's dark in here. Look at you. Seriously? Dang, eat up all my ammunition. Oh my god. Ah. But no pistol ammo. Oh. Damn it, I should have taken the shotgun. Some weird wine. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, I see what we did here. blue key card. What the oh yeah. It's even progress over here, yeah. What the hell? Are you kidding me? Oh shit.
Regeneration.
Just in case. Some demon controlling. Wait. Okay. When is this? Are these laggiest like this? Never seen so many. Oh, it's better. Oh my god, they installed the CCAI. Wow, you were very helpful. Oh my god, this is the end. Okay. Awkward end. Yeah, not too bad. Not too good. Nothing special, but... Why? I mean, you made a lot of full custom rooms actually. It just has to have walls, a floor, ceiling, doors. It's not that hard. You can do this. You have so many custom geo parts. You just have to make some connections in the way, or make some abstract world. But that doesn't make too much sense. It doesn't have. It just has to feel good to walk through. Bit more Quake-like, classic-like. What I do most of the time when I just build something, that there has not to be any meaning or sense behind it. As long as it's nice to look at or has some nice ideas, it's cool. Story, yeah, why not? I mean, nothing too special. Did I miss out something? Why I did so many less points? Maybe. I'm just skipping through the look what the queue is giving here. And I mean, what I don't like on custom once you have started and have something, it starts to make fun, yeah. When you are in a scratch state, it's even so that's sometimes quite funny, just mashing together stuff and see if it if a room comes out or a weird layout and stuff.
Demonic presence at critical lows. Fluid control failure.
Oh, we have a weapon going. We have music. Very fresh red blood. Sorry, can I lend your arm, please? Thank you. And why not?
Access granted. Access granted.
Oh. I heard another one. There you are. I get you. I get you. Every shape consists out of cubes. I mean, the easiest is, what is important is your snap to crit alignment has to be on 15, so you can easily get your everything between 45, 90 degrees in each direction, and then it's actually quite easy to create certain shapes. And then you just go kind of bonkers, lower down your mobility, your movement speed, so you can smoothly align them. You don't even have to snap to crit them all in a way. I mean, you have to snap to crit all of them, but not so they fit to each other. You can just slowly align them while you are close and look closely to the corners. It helps a lot. And as soon as you have one interesting pole, let's say you make a pole, let it go out and wanna go up, yeah, you can take this and just copy and paste it, yeah, change the angle a bit, yeah, and place it next to that, and you immediately get a half round pole out of this with a nice curve inside and stuff like this. You have to think of one interesting simple structure and copy this in a way. I mean, the way you make corridors and stuff already. Oh, that's cool. Kind of shows me, yeah, that you are absolutely in the right way. And then it's first of all make it simple, yeah, and add afterwards. If you think, okay, now I have the basic wall, then I add details in the wall. Then you get really quickly relatively good results. I mean, if you know what textures to use, it's fortunate. I sometimes end up in having to re-texture all of it, and that's really nasty. Yeah, what Justin says. By the way, hi Justin. Cool. Oh, here you are. Nah, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I mean, you have to be a bit careful, yeah. Oh, I have seen you. You readied up your PC a bit more, huh? Yeah, Brutal Dome is actually right good, yeah. I mean, it has some neat features. The gore effects are pretty nasty. Oh my god. You guys don't want to fight. What's going on in here? Demons on strike. Yeah, you should. His new map is actually quite good, Justin. It's nice challenging since the encounters reset if you don't act properly. I mean, you should get through it. I mean, you are quite agile and stuff, so. But it's cool. It's really good. Apes campaign is getting somewhere. Why is this blocked even? There's nothing. Ah, god damn it. Oh, no. That's decoration. What's the point of this place? I'm confused. What's that door? Did I miss a door? Oh yeah, there was a door actually. Oops. I'm too small for this shit. I mean, you also have to check out Doom 2 in the moment. There's back to Saturn X 1 and 2, which are absolutely amazing rods. So you definitely have to play through them. They are a blast. Geo is top notch, all custom textures and stuff. It's amazing. And on higher difficulties, you get really kicked your balls, especially since you now can play on UV Plus with multiplayer enemies for single player, which is, I think, your cup of tea maybe. Oh, what? I love it when it ends in the middle of anything. Glorious. What? That's hilarious. Nah, this good thing is it's timeless. Yeah, classic Doom is timeless. Even, and I think especially since you don't have to aim down sight and stuff, it gives you, it limits the options you have in a way. So it has to be kind of be visible in a way, or you know, okay, I have to be aligned with something, so there has to be an option if there's a shootable and stuff. You have trouble with snap to grid? Wait a second. It's easy, easy. Oops, I went too far. It's easy. Let me just get into the grid room. Still have the troubleshooting, okay. It's easy. I mean, snap to crit it's not that necessary actually. Give me just a block. So stone floor. Am I stupid? I am stupid. Yay! So now change the size. It's totally easy. We have our block. Yeah. Now what we want to do is going to our settings. Yeah. You enable C crit. You looked at the crit size is 128. The offset is on 0, and the angle snap increment is on 50. What makes it, if you press it, yeah, and you go on your D-pad, I think you are on an Xbox, right? So you have a D-pad. So yeah, if you, but what you see is the increment of 15, yeah, makes it possible. So I am always be able to align it either on 45 or 90 degrees and so on and so on. And that's what I want to have. Yeah, the same is if I grab it, copy it, yeah, then I have to, with my shoulder buttons, you can push it like this here and can turn it around. If you're in a certain, close to a certain angle and you press the other D-pad button on the other side, yeah, you automatically snap to the next alignment of the 50 degrees you are in, yeah, so you're always stable, yeah. That way you can get easily whatever angle you want and then turn it around, and then I can place it easily next to it. The next thing what I said was, of course, the movement speed. Yeah, go on a movement speed of 3, 4. Yeah, that way you are nice and smooth, and so yeah. If you are working small, yeah, you go really close, actually, just like this. Yeah, check one other side maybe. Yeah, okay, all right, and you easily have it done. Yeah. And if you make it easy, like I said, as soon as you have a certain combination you want to have, just copy and paste it out, and then it's really just like aligning. So that's the first. Okay, I'm a tad bit too high. Go a bit down, go a bit up. Check. Yeah. And voila. Copy this up. And shabam. And now I can say, okay, this has to be my wall now. Yeah, this is the shape in my wall without textures. I always work actually in the first place. It's a ton of work to retexture, yeah, but on the other end, it's brutally easy. That's the way I make my my boxes, my sky boxes and stuff. Yeah, it's very easy to see how everything looks like. Yeah, and sometimes it helps a lot. So yeah, that's my wall now. So just to keep my demo in the beginning, I copy it again, and now I say, okay, this is my wall now. Yeah, that's why I go now for the size. It's this one, yes. And now I say I want to make a 400 block. I mean, of course, it's busy work doing it like that in a way, yeah, but otherwise, yeah, you're always on the easy side. Now I make them all 400, either with scrolling it up or not. The good thing is, since we are on the grid, I'll show you why we are on 128 now and a grid offset of 0. Oops, that was too long, but actually it's not really important. I mean, the more careful you build in the beginning, the more you don't have to recreate. Sometimes it's a nice thing if you go a bit wild. Sometimes you get interesting results you may want to use, even though they weren't intended in the first place. So always be on the try out stuff. Chang, yeah. Now I take these, search for my grid, for example, and make my snap to grid. now I am wonderfully aligned in the center of my grid. Here, take this, copy it, snap to grid here. They are perfectly aligned and on the same direction as it should be. Now I can take this one, snap it in the middle, go down, make it 1, make it wide, copy it, raise it up, and you know, if you don't want to have this light bar, yeah, these blocks in the ceiling have to be at least 20, 21, 22 to make it close. Go over, place a light, and bam, I got my first floor panel. I mean, the thing is, I have the thing is, I think 250 or something like this is. Then you are exactly on the thingy. 125 is some, I think, one code. I'm a bit out of business in the moment, so I have to look it up actually. Which length? I have 500. We make it 500 actually. 525 should be exactly doing the trick, if I'm correct. No, 500. No, it's 512. Yes, that's the thing. 512 is exactly the middle of the grid. If you are on 512, you can snap to grid each part actually next to each other without getting any gap or any overlapping thingy. Have fun. I recreate. I reskinned or rebuilt an abdominal penetration I made with Void Runner Vatsta in the beginning, one of my first maps. It was a ton of fun, and it's nice. So making it, and instead of all the gore, you make the gore-looking textures and stuff, and make some blocky things. It's a ton of fun to make it classic. Definitely, it is. But a ton of work too. But it's cool, yeah. Yeah, sure. Show me. But like I said, if I go now and take over this and snap that to the grid, you see there is no overlapping at all. I'm exactly on the next spot. I can turn it around and snap it to the grid, and that's done actually by the grid offset of 100 of max 128 and a grid offset of 0 actually, and the angle done, you're absolutely safe. And since I got my other column here, I now could say okay, can see where I go, and now I could say okay, then I make my connection here, and once you have textures, it's easier to align these. I make these now free flow, of course I know, but that's why I said keep the first thing, since it's the same shape, same height. Then you can decide if you just make it dark in a way and then work with decals, which I prefer to do nowadays. Is I make it in a dark gray and then place my decals on top of it actually, and then you have immediately you're nicely shaped. Oops. Let's just walk there. Ah, you mean in the old in the source code? Ah, now I see what you have to do. Yeah, that's a bit tricky to do. Yeah. Yeah, the problem on your D&D maps will be actually the mechanics and stuff to implement. That's a ton of coding, which yeah, which might make it a bit tricky. Oh shit, I have to walk all the way around, I guess. Yeah, since yeah, it's Uranus. It's bloody Uranus. Yeah. So now I can leave the ship. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, yeah, and yeah, now what you see actually now. This is a very flat room actually. So your best friend are the my best friend is always Rupert, the Echo, which I push everywhere to see how the proportions are of the geo I actually built, since this looks so huge. Actually, it really does, but effectively it's not. So that's why Rupert comes into play. Yeah, Rupert is as high as you are, so you always see, okay, that's about this size, that has to be about this size. Yeah, my trigger is in the right height, so it is in arm height, so things like that. Yeah, of course the ceiling is a bit off-puttingly low, but yeah, that's all you have to consider in the first place to have it a bit easier. Everything else with Snap to Crit I totally ignore. I mean, you can really go for the limits and stuff, yeah, but yeah, this is the way I build custom geo, quick and easy, and most of the time, like I said, yeah, get your basic stuff and copy and paste it. The same is like I said with the 15 degrees, you can go easily. I mean, there are other solutions too, yeah, but you I go easily, go always one further, and then you get your nice little column in a round way. You have to align it right. I mean, it's a bit tricky, yeah, but if you are close and if your textures are very clear, like the white one, even so it's work to retexture. It's easier to retexture than try to see how it looks if you are patient enough. I mean, it's a bit of a patience job, of course, and I totally get that. So now I have my square. Oops, I should actually get all of it. Would be, and as soon as you have viable parts like this, make yourself a copy. What I do normally is actually, since of course I don't need the last one, I overlap them and delete them out afterwards. That way I have always my viable parts, and it's easier to delete just one part of it actually afterwards. It's not 100%, but it's okay. Now I go here, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. Oh, I forgot one, which is not actually bad. That's actually a thing. Yeah, I flew that here around. I mean, yeah, but you see where we get here. And the good thing is now, since I have this, now I can start and say, okay, I want to have something in the middle. Yeah, so I go here, make it 6 by 6, and do this with all of these. Or 8, I don't care now actually. Yeah, and then we create this opening in the middle, absolutely sync, and that way you can easily do weird shit like this. But yeah, that's the easiest way to start and experiment around. What another thing is, I mean, what I like to do is I got a block, then I copy the block, lift it a bit so I can use this one, and then I resize it in a way, make it bigger in both directions but smaller. Drop it down, and I have I'm in the same position like I was with the block before. Just raise it up and down. That way I can make any column that fits, and I don't have to align it properly. I don't have to snap to grid it in a way. I go with the next one, make it thinner but higher, drop it, take this and this, copy it and go up. Oops, yeah, copy and bam. I can make it even thinner, then the difference is more visible. Like I said, you have to experiment around a bit with the distances and stuff. And if you go now, say I change the texture, and bam, you have a nice little thingy. The only thing is, since they are snapped to the floor, you might disalign them a bit so they don't clip depending on where you are and what you see. Go place a little decal just on the one spot. Give me something nice. That dot? We have dots. Ah, square would be fine actually too. Since this is 9 by 9, we make this one 9 by 9. Give it a blue, raise it up so it's nice and glowy. Ah yeah, okay, I see. Since this one is a bit picky, oops, no, I just want this. Place that in the middle, go up, go down, nearly. Place it back in, close. Then we have this nice little glowy thingy, and bam, we have a nice interesting thingy already. Or go with the metal text. These are nice. Make it steel. Yeah, a bit nasty to align, I have to say, sometimes. To help us to see it actually. Because, of course, now it's absolute, oops, yeah, it's bright light. So, they don't align very well. You have to really align them manually, which is a bit of pain in the ass sometimes, I think. But it's alright. We can do this. Yeah. have our first block, which is some nice decoration that we can do. Actually, now we can say, okay, since I use these here, I can use, oh, there's a double, okay, I see. Yeah, sometimes there are overlapping ones, since the copy paste sometimes I double copy and stuff like this, but I rather have these problems than others. No, yeah, come on, switch. Didn't I use it on that one too? Ah, okay. Yeah. Alrighty. But yeah, you see, you easily and quickly get weird little decoration thingies that are actually easy to handle. No, why not? I keep this. I like the hallway, maybe I use it. Since I've done it. Let me see. No. I think it's better if I go into editor. I don't think there is much. Is there even a player start? So this one is not on the. Are you going classic even? So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I see. Yeah, this works. This you see, you do what I was thinking of. Yeah. It's very red. I mean, when it comes to classic textures, I mean, I had some examples of what could be important on a classic map is I prefer, since you have not much chance with lighting actually in the custom geo, in the geo itself. You really have to change the lighting overall actually by the way how dark your stuff is. That's nice. Hmm. Yeah, it works. That's cool. I guess this is empty one, yeah? Hmm. The thing is, oh, there is something else actually. No, there is not. Like I said, actually, when you work on it, yeah, it's okay. I mean, the layout is interesting. It's nice. It's nice. A little nice block base in the middle and stuff, with some surrounding area. These are quite nice. I mean, what I always stay very blocky when I make classic maps, since the old source code didn't provide actually diagonal weights and stuff. But that's not too. The thing is, when you come to model color, yeah, like that's the thing always. I mean, you are in red now, yeah, but 127 is the middle ground, yeah. I always go with every texture to 127, cause when it is high, that is when it is very light, of course, yeah, or you go very dark. Oops, I didn't want to go away from the red actually. So that's actually a good thing I always do too. So I always have all my textures somewhere in the middle when it comes to the color. That way you have actually a neutral way, and you can easily say, okay, something has to be brighter or should look in a way brighter. Maybe outside, for example, yeah, you can make it look brighter than inside, for example. Then you can raise it up to the 255. Interesting for you when it comes to thingies. I'll give you a few texture tips, even though it's not actually in your build, since yeah, you would have to download it again. So if you wanna have nice lights, yeah, you need this texture, and it's down over here. It's on 25 or 24 actually, yeah. I mean, you go quite hellish, but not always. I think the interesting light frames are always a good thing to make it look very classy. That helps a lot. And since these are lights, that's for example something I always raise up to the max. If you want to have them glowy, yeah, then don't use the classic. Go to Polar Core Arena, and your lights will pop off like they would really glow actually. That way, even though your map is dark, it is a bit brighter that way in a way, and that's what I use always all the time in my classic maps, yeah. Like I said, then the thing is, next to these, of course, the same is if you have it like this in the textures and go to the normal lights stripes, yeah, you see they always immediately look actually as if they would glow in the dark, or would glow even though there is no real light source. So these are things I always have handled close to myself in a way, because they make such a difference all the time. If you go and these are actually quite good indicator for the height what you are using, like you see, yeah. If you now go and go down right to the corner, I'm just messing around a bit so you get an idea what I mean, yeah. Then you immediately have this border light. Depending on how in which direction you are, you definitely have even this light gray frame on the outside of this here. That way, if you want to have interesting, I mean, these are very cool in a way, but like I said, yeah, I always go to the middle ground on 125, since it fits that way. You can go lighter or darker, but always go to 127 in the middle. You are actually quite fine, especially with this filter. If you go with a darker filter, okay, yeah, then you might think of the brighter ones, but you get a better contrast if you go to 127 and work with a different room filter like these. Which one I like to use too actually are not these trims. Is it on this page? No, it's on the other page. Are these. I've figured out that if you go down here, I mean, you have to turn them around, and they have a bit of an edge, but it's actually quite good to use anyways. Is if you go down to the last frame down here and now make it wider, you get a small bar. You can go 14, and 14 should be actually working. no, 14 is not working. Yeah, here we go with the 14 and these, and if you take these, you can switch them around. Like I said, if your snap increment is right, yeah, you have nice little so yeah, come back to Papa. So go straight. That's the 15 degrees I said. You see, even so, if I'm a bit off in a way, yeah, you easily just come close, and then you just boom. Here we go, straight. Yeah, and then for example, you can go here. Then you don't have to use the full size, which are very far off in a way. I mean, you have to have a certain alignment maybe, but yeah, these are things I like to use actually when it comes to metal stripes, which are always quite handy. You also could go here and say, okay, since I want to keep the metal look, that's what I like them to use. For example, is to go over here, that's the same over here, place them next to these. Then you can make this one wider. This is a bit manually management in a way. So they close up on the right spot like this. Fits. Take the complete thingy. If you once have you have these parts, you easily can attach can take them and replace them and bring them to the other side. No biggies. And bam. Of course, this is not fitting, so since we aligned this up here, we just copy it, tear it down until we reach the height we want, which is here, and bam, we immediately have a window with lights on both sides and the stripes, for example. These are the small things actually. Oh, I see it's one light up actually here, I misplaced it. But these start, once you have light sources like these, yeah, you easily have your measurement in a way. Yeah, there is a certain measurement to the textures in the classic maps. Yeah, that is actually quite common in a way. Yeah, so you most of the time can work with these and retexture it with different other textures and come out. If you want to do a line, of course, something really easily, of course, yeah. The good one in the classic textures is of course this one, yeah, brutally good, since I think one of these squares actually is nearly what we have here. Yeah, it's one off or something like this. Yeah, I could even go here and say, okay, I make this one not 9, I make it 8, I think, or 40. Yeah, it's the 13. Yeah, it's the 13 actually. If you are on 13, yeah, these are actually exactly one of these squares. So if you go now and place this texture here, yeah, you easily can count the squares without even having a problem. Yeah, you see, okay, this is my grid, my manually made grid. Now, okay, I changed this thing around since my D-pad it's not an origin controller. It's a bit messy sometimes. I easily slip. I can do it in this angle. I can do it. No, I can't. I do. This is straight. This is not straight. This is not straight at all. Oh, it is straight. Dang. Yeah. So now you can we can actually count these. I mean, more or less. I always think of things, and now we go 3 over here, 3 over here. Yeah, okay, that's quite the middle. So now we actually just go and align it here. 4 and square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Oops, that's the wrong way. Oh, I hate my controller. No, 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 yep. So, and okay, do I want the thingy back? Yes, thank you. The thing is now, of course, like I said, that your player could play fit through, yeah. But I would rather go for optic, yeah. I mean, of course, you say this place is not is not accessible through here, yeah. There is a barrier, yeah. You can go through, yeah. So what you do, of course, is you make a small invisible wall afterwards, yeah. That is, I always make them actually transparent, anyways, yeah. Don't block shots, don't just block the player in a way, and that way you can go for ever optic you want, yeah. I mean, these don't have to be the barricades in itself, yeah. Make them not shots blocking, actually that's always a good thing, and not AI side blocking, and just player blocking or demon, or don't even demon. These can be completely non-solid in a way, so but which makes it always easier to work with, yeah. And the real block is actually the invisible block that is holding it together, like you have to do it now with the modded props. Actually, that's how I always do it in my classic stuff. If you see things like this, there's most of the time there is a solid invisible wall in between. But yeah, like I said, like this, yeah, you have your close measurement, and that way you don't even have to align it and change it in size or stuff like this. No, that don't, yeah, more or less, it's a bit tricky, yeah. I mean, they kind of tend to work. You can make a room very bright, or that it looks bright, yeah, if you use, for example, the ceilings. Let me see. Just so if I go now here, no, come on, go to the ceilings, for example, and I want to make it bright, so there are certain things that really make it bright, actually. So if I go now here, I show you what I mean. It's a bit tricky. Not all work. I mean, if you have a dark texture and stuff, it's a bit different, yeah. But normally, when we are working inside now, my weapon model and everything should be actually lighted up better, or demons should be lighted up better inside of this area than they are in outside area. If you have a skybox, a light one, actually, yeah, it's also brings in a bit more light into the classic textures. Yeah, there is, so, like, I mean, I'm now here. I'm pretty dark. I can't actually see my textures. I mean, you see on the weapons, yeah, these glow a bit now, yeah. There is a certain feel of light. Let's go inside. I'm not. I'm. Yeah, and if you see now, I'm way brighter due to the lighter model inside here. So that's a bit the tricky part to do in classic maps, yeah. How to use lights. Because the reflection of the light is kind of that what gives the deal in a way. So if we place now demons inside of here, for example, there's the other difference. I mean, the demons can look very, very blacked out and very in a shadow, which is a nice effect, of course, if you want to make a dark area. I mean, of course, it works, yeah. The eyes are glowing still and stuff like this, or the glowing bits and parts they have. But overall, the textures, I mean, what does a lot for the lighting actually is also the filter I'm using, actually, the core arena is, that's why I actually like it. I mean, it makes everything a bit more, I don't know how to explain it, what it does. I mean, these look a bit brighter too, actually, then, yeah, but they are not too extreme. They still work in the end, in my opinion. But AI, give me a demon. So we have our impy friend here, and just take this. And watch out, blocks always don't block AI by default, just saying. So that's always, and always a thing. You always have to double check actually. Oh, you barricaded it already. That's the thing I wanted to look. That's very good actually, so they don't have to be blocked, and players don't have to be blocked too actually. That's good. Yeah, that's the next thing I actually wanted to double check. Good one. That's good. Good. Great. 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 Yeah, should work. Yeah. If you want to work with Kako demons, yeah, you actually, I think I have the best results in when eyesight is not blocked at all by any of the blocks, which is tricky. Yeah, but I just avoid Kako demons. Kako demons appear for me just in traps where you immediately run into them and get kicked by them, and then you kill them, and they don't have actually the need to walk or to move in any way. So, but yeah, that's a point. Yeah, I didn't solve that problem properly, but it has to do with the eyesight actually in the first place. So, and we show them this one is shown as not false. So, my movement speed is quite low. I mean, low. The thing is, of course, when you are moving around and stuff, you can raise the movement speed. Yeah, and I think with holding one of the shoulder buttons, you can increase the speed even so you don't do it massively. Ah, we see it anyway, so I don't have to search for it actually. So now let's see if I'm right with how visible the demon is actually in the light. I mean, it's a bit experimenting, but there are certain things that actually work without even using light sources. I use actually quite a few light sources in my map. Sometimes I use them to indicate a bit more, to give a bit more flair on the player model or something like this. But I really use them just for accents, not for actually. Ah, cool. That's nice. So, oh, this one was quite dark, right? I had paid no attention actually. I know. Yeah, look, this one is nice and easy, good to see. He's totally nice and bright. And since the floor is not blocking him too much, he is in combat range, so of course he wants to get out of it in a way, but he's actually really, so imps always kind of work quite okay. He's a bit confused of course, but actually he is kind of working properly. Ah, so yeah, okay, since it was not spawner, we can't respawn him actually again. Yeah. But these are some basic things actually to consider. I mean, like I said, these stick out a bit, but not too much. Like I said, I like this lighting a lot. And depending on, I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't use these textures. These are for me are pure deco textures actually. I use them actually really as to making certain little windows or things like this. So I wouldn't use this repeating texture type as a wall texture, but that's up to you. I mean, experiment around. I mean, you get a certain feeling even with textures they're not and are not supposed to do. It's just a personal thing. I really differentiate between actual materials, deco material textures and the other textures, so to keep them for my details actually. Let's just go a bit faster. But yeah, now I mean, if you go close, yeah, he is visible, but yeah, not like it was in the upper room. Actually, this guy in the upper room actually was way more visible for us. And yeah, I mean, it is the thing also is if you search certain Doom maps, classic maps, yeah, you get a feeling what texture types is. Since we have this low 125, yeah, of course there are the certain frames, yeah, these are I think best on 32 or something like that. 30, yeah, 32, 31, I see, or 30. It's a bit. Sometimes this would be a basic one, but like I said, I wouldn't do this on the middle color. I would go for here. That way you can always your light sources profit the most of it actually. If you make it this and this, you always your lights are really shining in between, of course. If you frame them like these, the same would be with these here, which is the typical lights you see in so many Doom classic maps. It's just the light, and these around, and these are, like I said, these are typical textures I just have standing in my sight, so I can go. Now I look, here's my texture, and then I just align them more or less close as possible so they don't clip. There's and bam, then you can see, I mean, the texture is repeating over here, and this is the frame where it is repeating. It starts with this, so it ends up here, yeah, so this is your typical height, I think. Let's do it on this one actually. Your typical height is it would be around here, yeah. I mean, it is dropped, so it's 193 something, yeah. But that way you can go, and then you can say, okay, I just want the lights in the lower part, go up, go for these. Yeah, that's why I said these show you the oh no, we are on the limit actually, yeah, since these are the same size like the lights. Also we want to make them nice in the middle, then we can raise them the height we need. Then you have your light, the texture that is going with it, and then your wall. I mean, these, to align all these wall textures, you can do a lot, but you get limited. But on the other hand, I learned for myself, you don't have to. I mean, sometimes people think they have to search for secrets on certain spots, yeah, but you have to find the other solution for actually getting your secrets properly hidden in a way. So always go for the, like I said, if you have your walls and your certain spots, here the texture is changing, just go, these are the good old Romero rules actually, yeah. Texture is changing, make a border, yeah, you automatically get a good actual thingy. The same is actually like here, of course. What I normally tend to do, for example, is when I have these lights here, then I go full into the square and use it on here and fit it in more or less on parts of these, or I go on and just make the half frame, so I go and block these up to use just this little frame outside of here, and then the same on the other side. For example, taking this, going, see where the squares end. I mean, the good one is you have pixels to really count. It's actually a quite satisfying and easy job to do, since you really can count the pixels you see on the textures. And that way you have, of course this is now a bit out of place, so we just change it and go a bit further. Look that we are aligned a tiny bit with the textures. Which I normally do is I have that's why I would have this side as a block and this side as a block. Count the panels and then align it on the panels perfectly, and then start the next one with the panels completely, and that's how I measure then my whole build, depending on the texture, of course. Yeah, but it's not too I mean, as long as one side is more or less, yeah, this would work. Yeah, no one would blame you that the texture now here is not working. Yeah, it works here. It's all a thing you can mess around and play around depending on your build, of course. Yeah, but that's nothing important. That is nothing I would blame you for, actually, since I know if the build is finished and you see the result and stuff. Yeah, this is non-existent anymore. Yeah. If you want to attract the attention away from it, yeah, just place a freaking candle in front of it, yeah, then no one will look at it at all. For example, yeah, these are few examples, yeah, a few things to do to polish it up in a way, so and everyone is more than satisfied. I mean, what that do have to look is if it is clipping in the end, but yeah, there is a certain distance. I think that should be enough. But yeah, these are the main things. Yeah, make your solid main build, and then frame it a bit. Keep your lights in sources inside. Cause yeah, like I said, yeah, this place is now fully lit up. You don't have to place any light source in here at all. It absolutely is already done by the light you have provided through the ceiling. Of course, this ceiling is a bit bright. I mean, I tend to work with other thingies. Yeah, I mean, these are very lit too. Yeah, when it comes to these, I tend to place them around 160, so it's not too aggressive, but it's still a light. Yeah, all the light sources are above the 127. All non-light sources or far distant things or corners can be lower, but actually you get a very good contrast and a very good overall feeling in the map when you use the middle ground of the 127. And with the Polar Core Arena especially, I mean, this has the core has the fog, but this has less fog. The default, the lights don't shine as much as they do when you are in the arena, for example. I mean, I think they shine, but not quite as good, I think. Yeah, it's all a bit plainer. So I really, but that's the perfect thing. You can also go to, I think, when you use the classics now, I mean, as long as your light is definitely brighter on the 250 and stuff, but now this room would be darker, for example, so you don't get as much of a light effect on it as you would actually with the other one. So that's what I prefer to do nowadays, actually, is using the other one, cause yeah, it just gives you more flexibility, and it smoothens all the edges a bit, kinda. So it's not the worst choice, but of course, like I said, that's my preferred one. In the end, it's up to you what you're using. But I like the idea so far. It's cool. I mean, like I said, the layout is cool. Starts to be something. Yeah, just make it. Yeah, don't think too much about the textures or everything. It's easier to edit it out and in or make the frames. Good thing is the barricading, absolute important in my opinion. Not all the time, but you are better off when you do it. That way you're always, I mean, it's kind of bright. Yeah, but I think inside this guy was actually way better to see. And yeah, like I said, this texture is a nice little helper. There are many good textures that can help you out very easily to measure stuff. So classic textures have their usability and are very versatile and fun to use in a way. And for example, for these things, for example, yeah, there are these exceptionally useful too, of course, since you have this nice nailed thingy. I mean, yeah. Hope that helped you a bit. If you have any questions to the classic stuff or need any help, I think that I could help you there. I'd say I'm one of the most experienced when it comes to classic geo texturing and stuff, next to Voidsons. I mean, the next thing, if you wanna step up your level even more, is of course making blocks look diverse, so the sides don't look like the fronts and stuff like this. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and experiment around and try. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah, like I said, you can make it very useful, like I said, with these textures and stuff. And since, yeah, for example, now if I want now the gore, for example, I think now this side is not visible, but this side would be. So now I go. So that's why many things on my maps, for example, are multi-layered. So to create a certain feeling, I work with these different textures on different surfaces, for example. Yeah. So now my sides are fine. There is this one. I mean, I can line it a bit more, but it has just to be one more and a slight bit above. Can go nearly 1 pixel height difference, even less if you are if you are careful and place them right. Yeah, but that way you get a lot of detail very soon, but just by doubling the block and changing the textures for the sides and the fronts, for example. Yeah, which helps a lot. The same is now, of course, you have now this. Yeah, now I go lift this one a bit up, go to the flocky one, of course, to make it easy in a way. So I think you use this one to make it red, right? So now I just have to double check. 7/6/2020. So now, without having any trouble, grab this. Now I grab both, since I want to align them. I mean, now I can go. I mean, that's the thing, like I said. But there come the borders into place, for example. I would actually change the texture then completely or something like this. Yeah, but for now, it's just a thing. I mean, borders, for example, now this one is tacky, yeah, and later on, just for the quick show off, yeah, there's my ugly place, yeah, border, bam. Oh, by the way, it's here actually, and border here, bam, bam, absolutely no deal. That's why borders are so helpful. Trust me, I mean, these borders are helpful, yeah. These are technically the same, you can make them these are of course the same. I think these are 20, they repeat on 32, yeah. So 32 are these nice little columns. Always have these in your corner. Actually, I use these are so standard to use and so versatile. Yeah, you have one of these. Yeah, like I said with the increment, you easily can place them next to each other, can turn them around, just just for the heck of it. And these are squares. These are nice to use. These are nearly the same. I think you can make the other ones actually on 32, 32. Then you can easily switch these out, make them with the lights. Then you have your hellish lights, of course. So these are standard blocks here next to this one. I always have in my site to just grab and copy and paste, cause these are detail blocks for me. I always use a lot. And like I said, now you have your front immediately. Your ceiling is, since it is the same size with the ceiling. Yeah, you see now. This is why I now go here and just okay. The size I can't make. I have to make these one smaller. Just one here, and if you look around now, it's not because I changed them before. Yeah, but now, what you see now is it's now the same block, and just below is the one for. Now I can lift it up until I'm just reaching it. Bam. Now if I look from above, it might clip, but I just make the light block lower, so to ensure that it's not different upstairs. So now I have complete around. From underneath it's the light, from outside is the other one. That's the same actually with the flooring. For example, I have the flooring. I mean, that's a typical wall texture. I mean, you can use it, of course. I'm just saying, yeah, that's absolutely it's absolutely freedom, yeah, and be creative and everything, yeah. But I mean, these floor texture wall textures, I don't use that much on the floor. I'd say it's that way. I always try to kind of get a certain. I go very standard in my builds to recreate the classic textures as close as possible. The same. I mean, I like to change colors in between. So yeah, but I also like to work with the actual originals in certain ways. Not always, of course. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't make this one red. I mean, I would this red, for example. I used to, for example. But these with the openings, since the openings have so many details in the original version, as you can see, all the colorations detailed and stuff like this, I rather would use it so I can make full effect and use out of these two, or just use a part of this one and pick it in between, something like this. But yeah, that's, like I said, all a personal thing. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing it like this. It works in the end too. Kind of. So you always have to be, like I said, it's the same with these. I mean, it works, of course, yeah. But I rather would go on the walls. I mean, these. I'm always a big fan of these here. Yeah, not especially this one right now. But where it is, this one is a very good one. For example, going even here, I would go on a nearly 200. Yeah, these work when you want to have big electrical thingies. Yeah, especially in red, I like them a lot. For example, or of course the typical electrical one here, which are always great. These, of course, these always give a nice glow. But these, for example, are one I would go darker. These work actually quite well. They get a certain deepness. I figured out on these you can close these ones that you just have this outer pipe actually, which is quite funny too. So if you, oops, wrong menu, come on. If you go down with the size, I use them to create a whole pipe area. Actually, I think it's also on the 32. 32 is a very common thing. Something in the 90s is very common for certain textures. And come on. Let's go for 32, then we are in line with the others. And as you can see now, I mean, going back to normal, is now you have only this one stripe here, for example, yeah. And I use them especially, once again, come on, I just use them in a long way to create a pipe area where I had this going next to this, and had whole walls like this then in a way, which kind of look quite nice. I mean, like you see the clipping, you have to disalign them a bit depending on what you want, which also gives a nice, even if you just disalign them a tiny bit, you actually get a nice effect of a bit of a room feel to it. And the good thing is, since now you can actually say, okay, I need them in a certain length, and now you can actually stretch them out. You start on a point you are, and then you can make them as long for your wall as you, since you are changing the direction of them. So you actually can easily start with these. Let's say I want to start here. You don't have to think of two sides, actually it's just the one side. Now I can check. And now if I go into the one here, I actually have this one cursor and just look for a spot where I can see it properly, go down, and now I see, ah yeah, okay, here is my detail. Yeah, it's about 731. Yeah. Then I have easy times to actually measure them. And like I said, I align them. I don't want to avoid, for example, the light bar now here, so I go a tiny bit back and take this one here. Always double check a bit from the side. So here, now I have my first three. And have easily recreated my own new texture in a way out of another big one. The same with these, of course, that you don't need to make them long or wide. It's easier to just have them like this. If you want to stretch them, of course, you can snap them to the wall, of course. That's actually what I forgot to say. If you snap them to the wall by pressing up on your D-pad, you automatically should be in the right line. Then you can easily change them by the 50 degrees with your D-pad, how you ever want to have them, and place them in certain places, easy as can be. And like I said, they are easier to use that way, because if you change the direction on wide or the length on the normal sizes, you have to look at both sides. Now you have just to focus on one side. You have your starting point and can stretch it out, especially on these that look the same in any direction. Actually, it is way easier to handle them and to work with them later on. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, and then it's experimentation. Experimentation is very important. And barricading, like you've seen, the imp was very happy how he could behave on this thingy here. I think on this height, in this room, in this size, actually even a Mancubus would work wonderfully in a way. I mean, Mancubi, Revenants, and Imps are your best friend in custom geo overall. Absolutely. The others, yes and no. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll keep that here. I'll just map settings and give it a map name. Let's call it ape help. I can use this one in a way if you need help with anything or something like this. I can create something like this for you in here and stuff. Can post it for you, and then you can either download it just to see the stats on it and or stuff, or even use and copy and paste it whatsoever. Just tell me, I can help you with this. Absolutely no problem. Better for me. I mean, I have my own. I am not willing to make my own complete project. I rather help someone with this project than I work on my own actually, which is the same fun in a way, but without having the stress. So I'm fine with that actually. So what can we play? Is there something actually in the feed I've overlooked? I played a few maps in the queue. They are partially good. I mean, the boom was quite fun. It's very short, but yeah, nice little classic rooms. Oh, is this active? Oh, it is. Is it? Is it something fixed on the Ellen Moore? I don't know. Sounds like it actually. Since you wanted to do stuff, I think, on the map, right? Oh, it's not deleted. Ah. Yeah, it actually is. What did he change? Or did he? Let's spy a bit. Let's spy with my little eye. I think my stream might break pretty soon too actually, since my data volume could run out and I have to reload it, man. And so if something goes out, don't wonder. It's just that my gigs come to an end. You see. Oh no, actually not. We are in the good. We are in the green. Green, 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 green. Oh, I needed things fixed again. Yeah. The thing is, what when I watched it actually afterwards, what I saw, I really like the houses upstairs and everything, but the glow is a bit off-putting actually, because it is a bit too much glowing. So the what is the emissive thing? Is a bit rough actually. I just want, and the horn is still there. What did sound? Oh, trumpet. Oh, fuck. Yeah, let me up there. No. I mean, on the distance, it's quite fine, actually. Wow. no, this house is not now not glowing. Is it glowing later on or something? Since this house glowed before too, I guess. Yeah, this house has changed. The roof is different now. I mean, it's dark, but from this side it kind of feels better when it is like this. Actually, I like that. Since yet it's a very glowing tower. It's a very nice tower, but also very glowing. And it's a lot of stuff up there. I mean, you had a lot to copy and paste to get this thingy done up there. It's quite impressive. It's nice. What is this thingy up there actually? Why is there sand dropping down? Was that intentional, or is that a missed one? That just made its way up there. The light is actually really good. That's the spotlight. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But having that light actually, that is, I think, the thing that gave you the main idea for making the light tower is having this freaking awesome spotlight. But yeah, I like the houses more a lot now. They are more natural. I mean, you could consider doing something with... Oh. There has something changed here too. Now the complete roof is non-solid anymore. Hello? Oh, that's an invention that has to be, yeah. If your lights go out, yeah, have glowing toilet paper, yeah, you always be safe. That's the thing. Glowing toilet paper, wonderful. Yeah, he's messing around a lot on this map, I think. All the interior lights have changed, or maybe they activate later on, since I totally jumped just up there to watch and look and stuff. Interesting. There is stuff happening, I see. Let me out. Let me out. Let's have another look into some awkwardness in FHDs. The trap demons of this world want God's blood. Okay, you need to kill them now. How big is it? It's in middle range. Yeah, sure. Let's have a look-see. At least it looks like it's not just one room. Should be fun! Yay! Give me some solid standard Snapmap, please. I've seen PicDog played our Ragnarok. I mean, he got a bit confused. I mean, it is a bit confusing in certain places. I don't, maybe, but yeah. But he made it through after many deaths.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility. I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
Holy shit! Hello there. Okay, I have no weapon wheels, so oh, that's good. Let's see. I want this, and of course I want this. our weaponry, the map already has a point for me actually. There's a vortex rifle for our good friend Finch, and a super shotgun. Oh, and now I'm a Baron. You are not my mommy. And a static rifle. We forgot about the static rifle there. Dun, dun, dun. It's a bit of a shame that it has this filter on it when you are in a demon form. I rather would prefer if it would be just normal. Then it would be way cooler. Because it takes so much depth out of the textures. Yeah, we can't use this yet. And I don't think we get out of the demon form soon. Since it is a bit tricky. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. It's madness. Angry. Fluppy angry. Oh shit. Fluppy dead. Well.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility.
Oh
I think
shit.
we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
And of course the weapons are not respawning and my loadout is tight. Well, that's bummer.
It's time we meet in person. My office is on the second floor of this facility. It's madness. The board understands the peculiar nature of your work.
This is madness.
This isn't progress, it's madness.
It's a
The
mess.
board understands the peculiar nature of your work, and no one is in the dark.
Holy shit. Oh.
This isn't progress, it's madness.
Oh, that's a repeating one. Oh, cool. Oh.
It's time we meet in person.
Is
My
it
office is on the second floor of this facility. This isn't progress, we meet in madness. My office is on the
Holy
second floor
shit.
of this facility.
Oh my god.
Dark on what those sacrifices mean to mankind.
Now we sing a song
Your judgment is
together.
no longer considered sound. It's time we meet in person. My office is on the second floor of this facility.
Poof goes the cat go. Your office is in wait, that didn't open up. I see. Okay. Alright. Gotcha. Oh, hello. Oh, there are two of these. It's two of us. And of course, I just realized I'm of course in my Doom armor. Yay, this map. Ugh. Ticks all my boxes already. Huh. Is that a little enemy box? Ow. Holy hell. Naja. Let me in. Might be over soon actually. Uh-oh. It gets awkward and awkward. I think
It's time we meet in person. My office is on the second floor of this facility.
there's no trigger. Is there? No. I'd say this one is broken. Can't progress. Can't progress. Goodbye. Okay. I see. Well, yeah. We had some educational business today. No. I don't want this. I'll call it for today. Maybe tomorrow or the next days. We will see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Goodbye.